Hi, my name's Diane Miller. You're watching the Just Kidding Around show. Thank you so much for joining us. This week we have Diane Gaile with us. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane.
And Diane is the founder of the Mariah, is that right?
Mariah
the Mariah Art Institute, and you are currently the director of the Mariah Art. So we're very privileged that you are here with us. Thank you, Diane.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Okay, and we're going to be working with pop art cats, is that right?
Well, we've been studying American artists this year, and we're working on Andy Warhol.
Wonderful. So before we get started, can we say look into the camera and say hi to a couple of people?
Hi to all the Mariah Art teachers.
Oh,
thank you so much.
How many teachers do you have?
I think we're at about 7 right now.
Wow. So hi to the Mariah Art teachers, and I want to say hi to Mr. Feeney. Hi, Mr. Feeney. He's quite an artist himself.
Yes.
So you've been studying American art?
Yeah, different American artists. And
okay.
So I found an interesting story about Andy Warhol. And when he first moved to New York City, he lived in a very poor part of town. And his mother lived with him. And they had no heat and lots of mice. And so they had lots of cats. And so he started drawing and painting his cats. And of course, he did them different than anyone had done before. And the first cat is Sam the cat.
Is that the red one?
Yeah, well, it's actually bright pink.
Okay.
And his mother named the cats. He liked all of her fancy lettering, so she named the cats. And
that's Sam. So that's actually that's an Andy Warhol painting, right?
Yeah, that's an Andy Warhol, and it's actually marker sketch. And so I thought, well, gee, we could have some fun with that with the kids. And so we developed an art lesson with the pop art kind of idea.
Okay.
And I took a regular book with cats in it, and we drew a picture, and then I had invited the kids to put different kinds of designs, stripes, polka dots, grids, whatever they like. And so we got a variety of cats, and that's for tonight.
And before we get started, may I ask you something? What was so unique about Andy Warhol's art? Well, I don't see anything. It must have evolved. Am I right?
Well, yes, he's from in the 60s, and so at that time, there just wasn't as much wild ideas going around.
Okay.
So he, his first job was drawing beautiful shoes for a department store in New York City. So he kind of combined art and graphic arts and commercialism together.
Okay, so that's what made it so special. Yeah. So that was a big leap when he made the pink cat. Huh?
So I'm going to teach you like I do my students. We're going to first draw a circle on the upper left-hand side.
Okay, upper left-hand side.
And kind of flatten out the circle just a little bit. Draw nice and large.
So almost an oval?
Yeah, like an oval, kind of a roundish, big oval. And then we're going to, everyone has a center line. If you take an imaginary line down the front of your face, right in the center, that would be called a center line. And in this cat picture, we're doing a 3/4 view. So instead of looking at the cat straight on, we're going to look at the cat from the side. And we're going to apply some foreshortening techniques.
All right.
Okay, so when you do a center line, then the one thing that you want to do, I think I'm going to go ahead. I know this kind of changes my drawing, but I want to make sure that the folks can see.
Yeah, maybe if the camera could get a close up.
In the upper left-hand side, you're going to start with an oval. There we go.
I wonder if one of the cameras could get a close-up of that.
Let's leave that since.
Why don't you hold that there for a while? Thank you.
Closer. Then I'll flip it up between.
So that's step one is an oval in the upper left hand. Now wait, they're trying real hard to get the. It takes them a while sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's our close-up. Okay.
All right. So then we're going to have a center line. I'm going to draw that in pencil so that I can paint over it. But we're going to move from the center. We're going to do a 3/4 view. So we're going to make a curved line about 3/4 of the way over.
Okay.
It'll end up looking like a crescent. And then we're going to do a center line across right through the middle. So you end up with almost a cross situation.
Okay, could you hold that up so they can see it? There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to make these lines a little darker. It might not be that great for my painting, but I want the steps to be seen at home.
So it's almost across. And what
There
was
we go.
What did
Perfect.
you write?
We got it. We got it.
There we go.
Okay, so we have
Thank
a
you.
3/4 center line. So in a center line, it shifts when you do a 3/4 or side view. Then I'm going to take in, we're going to put the eye on the side closest to you. We're going to have a flat with a curve underneath.
Okay. Why don't you hold it? I think Bob's
And-
trying real hard to
Okay,
get your. Right there. Sure.
there we go.
Your camera's right there.
Okay.
There you go.
And we're going to put an eye right on that line, a curve for the eye right on that line. If I can get it up there. Close.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Want to add a little pupil on there.
Okay.
Now the nose is a triangular shape, so we're going to put a small triangle right on the end. Okay.
Okay. It's okay. You can.
There we go.
There it
we go.
is.
And then the cat's upper cheeks, upper lips curve up on each side. So we're going to have a large curve on the one side and a smaller curve on the other side.
No,
Okay.
leave it
Again,
down. I'm
Bob.
sorry. The camera. He's right there on you, and he's. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
the camera's all lined up. He'll get it for you. He's a pro.
All right.
He knows. He's a pro.
Okay, and now you want to put the ears on in their triangular shape with a little rounded corner. The one in front is larger. The one in back, you just see the end tip of it.
Okay, so the one in front, let me see, is larger.
Mm-hmm.
Like this. I feel like I made more of a mouse.
It should be out here to the side more.
Okay. And then, oh, is that why it looks more like a mouse? Because,
Yeah, the placement of the ears.
so is it hard
cat
to
ears-
erase on this paper? What paper are we using?
This is watercolor paper, 140 pounds, student grade.
Is it okay if I erase the paper?
We'll just paint over any of the lines, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So next after that, if I can get the camera on here, I'll demonstrate on my picture here. I can demonstrate.
So I don't have to worry about redrawing lines.
There we
I'm
go,
gonna paint
yeah.
over them.
Now there's a small curve on the back
Good, that looks good. Thanks, Bob.
and a neck that shows on the front side.
Okay, small curve all the way on the back, almost
Mm-hmm.
like about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then after the neck, there's the chest area. Yeah. There we go. So you want to make a curve out and a curve in, right?
Curve out and a curve in. But no erasing, you said. I'm taking you at your word. Okay.
Yeah, let me get this. You leave that camera there. I'm gonna get us going right. There we go. I can draw sideways. Now, the stomach and back area looks like a pear. So one end is large, the other end is smaller. I'm gonna do like a pear shape.
Okay, one. Now, you actually teach this lesson to your students?
Yeah, they love doing it.
And do they do a pretty good job of keeping
yes,
up with
some
you?
of the work I brought today was from
Oh,
students.
we'll have to get close-ups of-
Yeah. And then we're going to go for the front feet. You want to go straight down and do a double line straight down for the feet. Now the cat's, what we call a heel, stick up a little bit, so you want to put a little diagonal line. And flatten that out for some toes. then we want to bring the tail around and curve it up over the body.
Okay, now can you help me with that so it comes around?
Comes around like this and
Here.
up over the body.
Around like that. Okay.
And then you want to see how much space you have left. You might have enough to put a little side-by-side line for the front foot that's sitting there. Give a little more action to that.
Okay.
And then, let's see, oh, I forgot the, let's see, and put, a little small foot should be showing in there, so we'll fill that gap in a little bit. With
This
the
gap
foot.
right in here?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Right
So
there, there
little-
should be a foot sitting in there somewhere.
His back foot or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go over, I'm going to get the pupils on my eyes. Now I brought oil pastel, so I'd like you to outline your cat with black oil pastel and do some of these details.
And should the ears be real pointed or rounded?
They're kind of rounded triangles. And then this is the fun part. The students can either pick up on the stripes that they see in the picture, or they can have some fun and do some curved lines to create like an optical illusion if they want. Excuse me. They can.
Now it's hard to get a lot of detail with these oil pastels.
Right, they're
isn't
thick,
it?
but so what we're doing is really defining space. Now what I discovered using the oil pastel works really well for kids because many times they make a beautiful drawing, and then what will happen is that the paint will cover that beautiful drawing and you won't see it. So
it washes
this helps
it
capture
out.
some of the structure of the piece. It certainly could be painted without the oil pastel, but it's kind of fun. The oil pastel acts as a resist. Then I told them to break up the space of the whole piece into the background space, to break it up into different shapes, to use some maybe small and large circles.
Oh, so
And
that's
some
the
stripes,
background
and they get to
there.
use their imagination on the way that they break up the shapes.
Now
on the
what
cat.
about, you're getting black all over the paper.
Oh, well,
Is
you
that
have
gonna
to be
get covered
really
up?
careful because you pick it up on your lower hand.
Okay.
So you have to be really careful, but the paint will pick up most of it.
Okay, so I can do whatever I want with the background.
Yes.
Now these behind, oh yeah, they do have backgrounds behind
Yes, they
us.
do, and they broke them up in different ways. We talk about composition, how all the parts of the painting fit together. And so they know that they have choices. They can make it and use their imagination.
And they actually work with these pastels.
Oh, yes. And they resist the oil paint, so you'll be able to see. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to paint my piece, and when you get all your shapes in where you want them. And I think it's kind of fun. We have a drawing lesson with the 3/4 view, and then we have free choice, colors, design, a space breakup. So I like to balance freedom and structure when I teach a drawing lesson. So we're using watercolors that come from a tube, and I'll show the, oh, great job on yours, Diane. That's very
Is
nice.
that okay?
Very,
And then I'm
yes.
breaking up the space, the background. Oh, the cat.
That's great. It's beautiful.
I
It's going to be
wonder
fun
if
when you
Joe
put
typed
colors.
that in.
If you
I
can
bet you
put
Joe
the
did
cat.
that. Yeah,
Great
I could
job.
be famous.
Yes, you could. Famous for cats.
Thank you for whoever did that. Probably Joe.
So next I'm going to use our watercolor paints, which I've already put out in a palette. The container that we put paints in is called a palette. And we add a little bit of water to our watercolor paints. Watercolor paints are very concentrated, so you want to add water. And you don't have to use large amounts. You can also let these paints dry up and reuse them.
Now, are there, where could somebody go to get watercolor paints?
Well, we have a lot of art supply stores here in
Okay,
Olympia.
so not too hard, craft store
Yeah,
or whatever.
no, craft.
Okay.
art.
Are they very expensive,
No.
watercolors?
No,
But
you
the
probably
paper's
spend, you could
expensive,
spend
isn't it?
more on your brushes maybe.
Okay.
but the
Isn't the
watercolor
paper expensive?
watercolor paints run about $6 for a container of
Oh, okay.
16.
Oh,
And then
well, they are cheap then.
these are sumi brushes. They're like $2 or $3 each. So sumi brushes are a Chinese brush, very inexpensive and quite usable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now I missed what you were saying. What do you, do you go with the lighter color first?
Well, I did because our water is green tonight.
Oh, okay.
And so if we're going to use yellow, it'd be wise to use
Yellow now. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah,
Good. So,
only because of that, though. You can use colors in any
okay. Any
any
order.
arrangement, any order.
So you don't
want.
have to do the lightest colors
Right,
first.
no. No, there are times when you want to because you're trying to get a certain effect, but really,
Now, are we making a red cat?
you get to choose any color cat you want.
And can I color over the black?
Yeah, it won't.
Oh, because it resists.
Yeah, it resists just like crayon, only it's easier to handle than crayons.
Oh, it does resist. Ooh,
Yes,
I
it
like
does.
that.
And it maintains the image, so it's really helpful for young children.
Oh, I see
Because
why.
we lose their images so many times. I just want to take the paper before they start to paint. Boundaries are quite exploratory, so they often.
And patterns are so important for them to learn.
Excuse me, yes, they
And
are.
this is a great way to teach patterns.
It sure can
And
be.
what kind of brush is this? It's not a brand name, right? You said
No, it's a
type.
sumi brush, S-U-M-I,
I like
Chinese
this
painting
brush. We've never used one of these before, have we?
Maybe we haven't. I
A
guess
sumi
not.
brush. And they're great. What else do they use them for besides
Well, they
watercolor?
do a lot of Chinese brush strokes, calligraphy strokes, things
People
like
can do calligraphy with these?
Yeah,
my
calligraphic
goodness.
line. Yeah. So I thought we could teach students a little bit about American artist Andy Warhol, and
Is he
they
the
have
one
an
that's...
opportunity for a drawing lesson and to explore different colors.
Right. Is he the one that said everybody gets 15 minutes of fame?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think
And
you're
was
right.
he recognized in his day? Or...
Well, people were quite suspect because what he did was new and not so traditional. We have a very traditional sense of art, and so each movement will break through the ceiling, and he definitely broke through the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, when he went to New York, he was so poor and he had mice in his
Yeah.
house. Although I have mice in my house, and I mean, I'm not rich. I'm sort of mid-range. I do. I live in the woods.
You do.
Yeah, and I don't have a cat. If I had a cat,
Maybe you better get a cat.
I'll just show this picture, wave it at the mice.
I don't think that's going to work.
You don't think so?
But you could try.
Now, of course, Warhol is the one that's so famous for the Campbell soup.
Yes, he decided that he took ordinary things, and through the way he presented them and repetition, he was able to take ordinary things and have people look at them in a different way.
Didn't he do a lot with Marilyn Monroe, too? Didn't he do something?
Oh, yeah, he had that little thing there with that. He did a picture, I think a silk screen or a lithograph of her, I believe.
Well, she was alive?
Yeah.
Oh, so they were contemporaries then.
Yeah, I think so, about the same time. How you doing? Oh, look at all the wild shapes you came with your
You like my
cat.
shapes? I'm getting into yellow
That's really
here.
fun. Really fun.
I go through stages for favorite colors.
You do?
I used to hate yellow. I think it's because Mr. Feeney told me he didn't like yellow one time, so I hated it too. But I like yellow. I think he likes yellow too now. I don't know.
Now, who is Mr. Feeney?
A good friend. He's my angel.
Oh, he's your angel. Okay.
And he watches all our shows.
Oh, he
He
does.
tapes every one of our shows.
He
And
does.
he's an amazing artist. Yeah. But he would never go on the show. Oh, I'm sorry. I might scare you away.
No.
He's very shy. Okay, so you're just painting all, you use a lot of color. I guess I'm more conservative over here.
I love color.
I still haven't painted the cat, so we can paint the cat whatever color we
Whatever
want?
time you want. Yep.
So I can have a blue cat if I want?
You can have a blue cat.
Yeah, but if those mice are going to believe it's a real cat, I better,
This one might scare him.
yeah, I want it to scare my
I
mice.
have a patriotic cat here, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of dark on these. This watercolor seems darker. Is that just because I haven't mixed a lot of water?
Yeah, you just haven't put that much water on it.
And how many pounds is this paper?
140, that means it's under 140 pounds of pressure per square inch. So it's not, it doesn't mean it weighs 140 pounds. What it really means is that you have a thicker paper that's easier to apply watercolor to.
This does seem thicker than a lot of a lot of papers.
It's my favorite for this. I think it works really well.
And now when kids use this, are they, I don't know, do they have better control with watercolor than they do with oil or crayon or other
mediums? Like oil paint?
Yeah, I mean,
well,
kids...
I don't really have kids using oil paint. For one thing, the cleanup and the toxicity are a little bit much for kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of the artists went crazy with all the different fumes and stuff they invented
is that
years
right?
ago. Yeah.
Because I think there still are teachers that use
There
it.
still are a few crazy artists. Well, they should have good ventilation, and it just depends, but I don't think it's really necessary for young children. As they get in older, elementary maybe.
To use oil.
Yeah, water-based
funny.
paints are easy to clean up and they're non-toxic, so that's really helpful. Well, how are you doing with yours?
Well, I think this is a fun assignment.
Yeah, well, let's
I still haven't
make
used
sure
my
you haven't
cat.
got your cat done yet.
No,
You need to whip that
I'm a
around
little
there. So pop art cats. Cats with a difference.
So the reason they're pop art is because different colors. And yours is red, white, and blue?
Well, the cat is. I thought it would be fun.
My water's getting really dirty. How often do you usually change this?
Quite often.
Water? Okay, I'm
We
going to
do.
copy you.
Okay.
And make mine red, white. It is
Now,
red
some
cat.
kids don't like copying, but I always tell them, hey, they must be impressed with your work in order to copy it.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't mind if people copy?
I don't care. I give up any piece of information I can if it helps you become a better artist.
Oh.
Of course.
Hey, I'm copying Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I'm painting over some of those earlier lines you said I didn't have to erase.
Yeah.
And they are disappearing.
They disappear.
But that resist
Can we
is
get
still
a better
there.
view of this, Mr. Cameraman? I think.
There you go.
Okay, here we come.
Ooh,
There.
look at that. Looks like Andy Warhol.
Yeah, and that shows up really well too. So draw a picture of a cat, add some wild stripes, and break up the composition a little bit, and you'll have
You know
fun
what,
making
though?
a pop art cat.
Now, I want to tell you something. I didn't put the resist stripes on here. Is it too late to put those on now?
You can draw them on later, or you can do it right now.
Oh, so you can put this, after it dries, you could
Yeah, you
put
could go
the,
back and embellish it.
Oh,
And
well,
we have
then
black oil pastels here tonight, but often I'll use all colors. Isn't that fun how it resists the paint?
I
the
like
oil
this
pastel?
resist. You know,
So
I'd
you really
forgotten, but
keep
when I
your-
was a little kid, we used to do assignments like
So
this.
Diane, let's tip up our paints and pictures and so they can see.
I think the camera's
There's-
getting some. Somebody's got a picture of my cat.
There you are. There's
That's
your
my
cat.
Andy Warhol
Pop art cat.
pop art.
Well, it's one way to teach kids a little bit about some of the concepts of a particular movement.
And we did patterning here.
Yeah,
and
they
we
did
did a lot of
patterning.
different
They
things.
had a drawing lesson. They got freedom of creativity. Has all the elements because I like freedom and structure combined.
I got to use these cool brushes.
Yeah, these are great brushes.
Yeah, but you know what? The watercolor's bleeding. I wish I would have on here
Oh, that's
done the
okay.
stripes
We
they
can
had.
pick that up.
We only have 2 more minutes. I cannot believe that.
How fun!
That was,
How fun!
This is the fastest show ever done in the history, I think, of the Just Kidding Around show. I'm wondering if they're looking at their clocks right.
I hope so.
Why? You want the show to be over?
No, I hope that we haven't cut ourselves short.
We sure got to have a great crew. We have the best people on the channel. We're very lucky.
We sure do.
Very fortunate.
The pop art cat.
And why was it called pop art? Was it just anything done? What made pop
Popular
art pop art?
culture.
Oh, popular culture.
And there are a lot of different movements. Op art was in the pop art movement.
Was pop art American art, or was
Yeah,
it
primarily?
primarily? The French didn't get into it, huh?
Well, no, they did, but it was dominant here.
Oh, okay.
It really started with Andy
guess
Warhol
what?
as one of
It's
the major
time
people.
for us to wrap up. So
Thanks
I
for
want to
inviting me.
Thank you.
I hope someone enjoys doing the pop art cast.
Yeah, and I want to thank our director, Tom Dubuque, and we have a new crew member today, and his name's Joe Brown.
All right.
How
Thank
about
you,
that?
Joe.
So thank you, Joe.
everybody.
And thanks, Bob Giles, for all those great close-ups. And thanks to Bruce Tenney, who just had his high school reunion. Bye, Mr. Feeney.
I'm glad he didn't miss it by 10 years.
Bye.